this is their warm-up, I think.
What are you grading the workout?
This is just foolish.
You're gonna be super surprised.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this workout a...
Put that cookie down!
Yeah, I am actually. Coach Greg, I'm here with Eric Janicki, and we're reacting to the Tren twins chest workout. We're gonna see, do they actually make sense? Of course they don't. We're gonna comment on their video. We're gonna learn from Eric, learn from myself, and so let's see what happens. All right, so they're shooting and fighting. Okay, cool. This is 21. This is what 21-year-olds.
Watching this in 1.5 is just so hectic.
A little baggy here. Let's try and not overdose. Farrell hasn't even came out. We're already trying new flavors. It's gonna be orange creamsicle.
You mix it with a fucking spatula.
Is it good?
That's pretty damn good. It needs a little bit more cream though.
All right, first and foremost, don't take this bullshit pre-workout. What do we take? What do we have for them?
So, brand new pre-workout 3.0 from Harder Than Last Time, and it won't put you in the hospital, well, assuming you don't overdose. Their supplements, they might end up in the hospital. I don't know.
All these companies are stuck in the Stone Ages with their supplements. They're not doing new formulations. This is literally 3.0 of HTLT's pre-workout because there's just a constant desire to be better and go harder than last time, and that's what these supplements are all about. So if you want the best pre-workout in the game, pick up the 3.0. Let's get into this freaking workout.
Yeah.
It's push day. Not only are we pushing some heavy ass weight, we're pushing the boundaries to our own sanity. Because I'm hungry as like a hungry, savage beast.
I wake up hungry. I'm just like a wolf, bro. Siberian wolf.
Are they training fasted?
These guys are hungry because they're dieting for bodybuilding and they haven't got my cookbook.
Yeah, I mean,
It's as simple as that. I used to coach the Tren twins. They're dieting down for a bodybuilding competition. They want to get a pro card. I don't think they can do it. I don't think they can stick to the diet. They're always hungry.
I think the biggest problem with that is, I mean, we were talking, like, I mean, Fouad Abiad has spoken about it. Like, there is this old school mentality of you have to eat literally chicken, rice, broccoli, oats every single meal, no sweetener, whey protein, nothing that's gonna throw off your digestion. At the end of the day, you need to be in a caloric deficit. You need to eat foods that agree with you. So of course you can't be eating protein bars all day long to hit your macros. Your digestion's gonna be terrible. But within reason, like, you need to give yourself some levity or some recipes. You know, like you said, protein French toast, a bunch of recipes. The risotto from the cookbook is absolutely out of this world. Things like that, which are still gonna give you a ton of nutrients, are very great to digest, but have a lot of volume, because that way you feel full, you feel like you're eating things you actually enjoy. And there's this old school archaic fish and rice, chicken and rice and broccoli, no seasoning, no salt, no sauce. And it's just like this suffer culture. Like, if you're not suffering, you're not doing it well. But what happens is there's a suffer culture and then you just quit because it's just too hard to maintain, especially as a young kid trying to still have fun, have a life, and it's just not sustainable.
No, you don't need to diet that hard. What happens is people follow those kind of diets and they cheat on them.
You know, you could say it's just a workout. Like, you're just working out. It's not that serious. And you could be right. But for me,
Yeah.
all right.
Spit your shit.
Bro,
Talk your truth.
Stop.
Talk your truth. Talk your motherfucker.
Bro, stop playing. You just ruined it, bro.
Let it out. Let the world know.
It's just, we don't need to react to any of that.
We've been doing push-pull legs. I think it's the best split there ever was and ever will be.
You're hitting the muscle twice a week, and you're doing enough volume that right in between you getting rest, good sleep, staying hydrated, then you can recover.
And so what do you think? Push, pull legs, and he's training his whole body twice a week. I think that's a great workout. What do you think?
I think the only problem with that tends to be, you know, it's, you know, pretty CNS taxing if you are going like super heavy the way they do. If you're doing more time under tension and you're able to recover, fine. But like when you're going to max end weight, which they probably will, they already said they're gonna lift some bench and heavy ass weight. So then you're taxing CNS, you're taxing your joints, you're creating these micro tears, which tend to be a little bit more than hypertrophic. They can almost be strain type tears, which then that's when it leads to those little tiny ones. You can put too much load on it, and that's when you get that bigger tear. For most people, if you can train smart and train and get a good amount of sleep, like they mentioned, one of the most intelligent things they've ever said, you can do push-pull legs, have maybe 1 day recovery. My personal thought process is 2 full rest days a week from the gym. I just think it enhances recovery. It gets you to the place where you're looking forward to going back to the gym. By taking that time away, you get more time, let's say, with family, friends. I think it's just the best way to go about it, and that gives you more intentionality in those 5 sessions, because you know there can't be a wasted workout. You're not like, if you're going 6 out of 7 days, you have a throwaway workout, you're like, well, I've got 5 more to do this week, so it doesn't really matter. So I think it just gives you more intentionality in your training.
Yeah, I great points. I prefer when I was training to train 7 days a week, but I found it very hard to take a day off. I mean, trust me, if you're out there and you love training, it's hard to take days off. That's almost the hardest thing. But what you need to do is not ego lift in the gym, not train so heavy, and just train within reason. I didn't do a lot of volume, and I didn't really go like heavy, like 5 reps, 6 reps, 7. I did higher reps so that I had less chance of getting injured. It was just a lot safer.
Fair enough. I can enjoy it. I mean, there's multiple ways that we always talk about the skin of cat, so you can train with different modalities and still get results.
So this is their warm-up, I think. What is this? Is warming up for chest?
Warming up looks like rear delts.
In a bench press.
Just to explain what they're doing here, they're basically warming up, almost pre-exhausting their rear delts. The thought process there with a lot of people is by opening up your rear delts, it's pulling your shoulders back, retracting scaps, and putting you in a nice advantageous position to have really good form on your bench. I think when you're training chest, especially, I think the best way to warm it up is potentiation sets. So doing some like nicer, lighter sets of bench press to warm up, or like a fly workout to really open up those fibers in a way that's really safe and a movement pattern that's really safe.
I would absolutely discourage doing this. I think you should be in fresh for the bench press. I don't think you should try to fatigue your shoulders in any way, rear delts.
That as well.
I think you want to be fresh for this at your 100% and get in. The hardest exercises or the ones that use the most weight, I think you should be doing those first in your workouts. I'd rather see you do chest fresh rather than even doing like flies and whatnot first and coming into it tired. I think the hardest exercise should be done at the start of your workout.
I would agree with that. Low key, their backs look really nice on those rear delt flies.
Oh yeah, they look great.
Just got to give credit where it's due.
Yeah.
Literally jumping right into
Did they even do any warm-up sets
they
here?
jumped right into
1, 2, 3.
315.
Maybe they just skipped. They probably do sets of 5 of each one. I'm going to bet.
Jump right into 315, which I think is insane.
I hope they did a set. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there was 4 plates. And so we saw a set of 8 with 3 plates, and we saw a set of 3 with 4 plates. They're bodybuilders, and they're on a diet, and they're cutting, and they're on steroids, which is going to make it even more likely they're going to get injured. And so a set of 3 on the bench while cutting, you're asking for a pec tear.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially jumping right into your second set at 405 is a little bit diabolical. I get it, you're strong, so like there's levels to the game, right? For me, for example, it's going to be different than for you, for the Tren twins, but like for example, I can pretty comfortably hop into like a 6, 7, 8 plate leg press without like much priming, so it might be similar in that capacity. But I think for most people, you should have a lot of potentiation sets, warm up for a bigger compound like the bench press. And to Greg's point, like you probably shouldn't be training down into a 3 rep range, especially cutting, unless you're like really trying to be strength retentive. Strength is a big deal for you, but in terms of bodybuilding purposes, I'd say, especially not in your second set, maybe in your top set, you're doing 3 with maybe a partner's rep to get a force rep at 4 or 5, but I think going down to 3 on your maybe first or second working set is just too low.
I think 5 at the minimum for somebody who really cares about strength as a bodybuilder. That's the minimum, because you're literally asking for a pec tear. When you're on steroids, there's more chance you're going to get injured. You're stronger. You need to warm up even more. I would recommend 5 warm-up sets before doing a set of 3. This is just foolish.
So we're going into dumbbell presses now. I don't even know. It's hard to track their workouts. I think they just like film the sets they feel like they look sick at and then flex in between. But now they're going to incline dumbbell pressing, I think, which is a great movement pattern. They actually seem to be doing pretty good range of motion based on what I saw.
It looks good. Are they doing enough reps?
That's how big my tits are. She wants to suckle on them. But realistically though, like how many sets is too much? Like if say you just want to build your side delt, do 10 sets of side delt and nothing else. Like is that terrible?
If I do that with chest, I just bench. It's just benching in different.
Look at how monstrous my titties got.
Once in a while, you gotta turn that zesty shit on. That zesty ass music, bro. Just switch it up type shit. This song is fucking like right here.
And so there's nothing wrong with dancing between sets, moving around. That's really good. It actually get rid of your lactic acid. I think that being active recovery is great. Dance away, guys.
All right. Coach Greg, approved. I'm not opposed to it either, honestly. It's having a good time.
And then tricep.
Dude, I barely even hit my chest, and I just need to focus on my lacking shoulders. I've been hitting them like crazy. I feel like they're definitely getting bigger. Not big enough.
I'll give them credit like where it's due. Especially at 1.5, their tempo for their incline dumbbell presses are very good. The range of motion's good. Nice stretch at the bottom.
Yeah, I would say they're doing a lot better on the dumbbell presses than on the bench presses. Bench presses is too heavy.
I mean, the dumbbell presses are heavy too, but I'm going to give it to them because the control's there. My thought process on too heavy is if it's just something that you can't control. So like, let's say they could take 405 by like 6 to 7 controlled reps with like a 3-second eccentric and like a soft pause at the bottom. I have no problem with you doing 405, but if you're doing 405 by 1 and you're like literally dropping it down to your chest, bouncing it off your rib cage, like that's a whole different story. So I don't have a problem with whatever weight you're using. It just has to be within like the parameters of good control, good range of motion, good stretch bias, good eccentric load, and that's where you're gonna drive the most hypertrophy. And I have no problem with the weight he was lifting on the incline press. Even though it was heavy, like the control was there, the tempo was there.
Yeah, it looked great. However, in general, when they're bench pressing, they are not doing a 3-set.
No. Bench pressing, no, but I was saying the dumbbell press I was impressed with.
Yeah. Back to the bench press.
Come on, baby.
Not a fan. Now, if they're going from dumbbell presses to bench presses back and forth like that, I would discourage that. It's such a different movement. I think you want to be focused on what you're doing and have it nailed, versus if you do the incline press, you're used to that motion, you go and do a flat, you might slightly tweak yourself because you're not in the exact position that you want to be in. So I think that's dangerous. As far as the giant set goes, I think that's great. 4 plates for 3, 3 plates for 3, 2 plates for 3. Doing a set like that, I think that's a good idea. Why stop at 3 when you can keep going?
And I think that's a really great tool, because now you're not doing 3 reps, you're doing technically like 10 to 11 reps. Yes, you're dropping the weight, but it's essentially just continuing to drive the emphasis into the muscle group with lighter and lighter weight, so you can keep the form instead of trying to take over with other, let's say ancillary movers like triceps or front delts. So I think drop sets are a tremendous tool. Honestly, like the form was actually pretty good till he got down to 2 plates. It was dumping it down to his chest. I think that was probably one of the better things I've seen from the workout. But yes, to your point, I think, Greg, you want to focus on one thing and then move on. So I've never done like you said, I've never gone from flat pressing to like.
It would feel weird. I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, and also it's hard to like scale your sets, right? Because if you do, let's say we're doing even like a machine plate loaded press, and then you do one set of that, and then you go do something else. You don't know how much you fatigued yourself, so then you might put on extra weight on the plate loaded press. You're like, oh, I'm getting like just killed by this because I just went and did something else. So obviously understand how you're progressively overloading set to set. You use that biofeedback to decide how you scale yourself through the course of that workout.
That shit feel like a ton today, bro. I only have 1 meal, so I ain't gonna be too mad about it. I'm not shut too much.
You shout out there.
I actually do like their form on their medial delt raises with a slight elbow bend and keeping almost the elbow higher than the wrist. What that's gonna do is keep the emphasis more in that medial delt, whereas a lot of people kind of do it wrong. Either they'll do the thing where they almost go like too high up and then they'll pull it over into almost the rear delt, or they'll go like almost 2 straight arms and then they'll kind of lose it, especially towards the top of the rep. I don't have much of an issue with this. It takes a little pressure off the shoulder joint as compared to, let's say, completely straight arm. The partner reps, I think, can be conducive, especially if they're helping you kind of towards the top of the rep where it's a little harder. You can get some more really good force reps out of it.
Yeah, I agree with using force reps. You have a partner like this, why not go harder than last time? These guys like training like animals, so good set.
That's it. Good, burn out, come on.
Partial reps in the stretch position, extremely efficacious. So instead of doing partials up here in the contract position, we're getting towards the bottom and just doing as much as you can without throwing the weight around. Really, really great way to build muscles. So they're definitely way better than the last time I saw them.
Yeah, better than expected. And it's great to do the partials at the end here. And rather than like cheating too much, why not just lift it halfway up? Keep your form, don't go the whole way up. You're still gonna build a lot of muscle by just going part of the way up rather than thinking you have to do the full range of motion.
Kind of a Y raise. So kind of switching to more of a Y raise, kind of front delt bias, which I don't have a problem with. I think they're super front delt dominant, so I don't think they need as much of this movement pattern, just because front delts are gonna be used so much in presses and they press more than probably anybody we know. So I don't think it's that much of an emphasis, but and he was talking about wanting to build up his medial delt, so I think that would be the probably better focus. About the standing barbell shoulder press.
I'm not a fan. There's too much risk of injury here standing up like this, especially where he's fatigued and leaning back. I think you could tweak his lower back. I'd be concerned, especially on a diet like this. He's not going the full way up. He's going partial range of motion, which, I mean, it can work, but I would be scared he's going to get injured. It's why I prefer doing machines versus barbell or dumbbell. But standing up like this, which you need more balance and you're already fatigued, I would be concerned he's going to get hurt.
I think there's a limitation with the equipment here. Obviously, it's a home gym, so they're training with more like barbells, limited setup. If I were them with this same exercise, I'd put the bench not at a full 90 degree. I'd put it at about, let's say 85, 80, get a really good back arch and use more control, good eccentric load, and then drive out and just have like a partner spot behind.
Safer,
You just don't need to be standing on this.
Less risk of injury.
Because shoulders are a small muscle group, you don't need to be standing up to drive enough emphasis. So it'd be more controlled, probably a little bit better range of motion, less, especially, I think you said lower back, but even through that mid back right up the spine through like subscap, I think that's where you get a lot of like neck and up there when you're leaning back like that and loading, where you can get a lot of pressure.
By the time I get to the tricep, they're already dead, so I just do straight bar push down, some dips.
I always found the same thing. I used to do the push-pull legs workout, and I would do push, so I would do chest, shoulders, and triceps. And when I got to triceps, I was toast. After doing the chest, then doing the shoulders, my triceps, I would do like 4 sets of a tricep press down, dips, done. That's it.
Yeah, I think I always leave my triceps for the end of my workout for a push day, like chest, tris, shoulders. The main reason for me is obviously you don't want to get toasted on triceps, and it's going to take away from your pressing just because they're ancillary movers. So if you get your triceps super taxing, try to press, your tricep will probably be your limiting factor, not your chest. And so you're probably not going to drive as much hypertrophy in your chest if your triceps are holding it back. And then the second thing is also because triceps are pretty dominant for me, arms in general. So I don't want to front load them and take away from, like, let's say my chest or delts, which I really want to bring up. So I think both these movement patterns, tricep push downs and these kind of weighted, they look like almost a dip machine in their place, plate loaded, both tremendous exercises.
Biceps, triceps, you save for the end of your workout. So you might be doing back and biceps together. Do your back first, do your biceps last, and the same with triceps, save the triceps for last.
I gotta go play that. Chief, looks like under the helmet. Chief?
You gotta admit, they're having a good time in their gym workouts. They're having fun. They're gonna keep going. When you have that much fun working out, I mean, we can be critical, but if they're having a great time and enjoying working out, why not keep doing it? Just be safe, though.
What are you grading the workout?
I would give it a C.
So you're gonna be super surprised.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this workout a B+ to A-.
Yeah, I am actually. You're not worried about the danger risk?
I think first of all, they're very proficient in bench, and their bench form, even though it can improve in tempo, is extremely good. Like, I've noticed this about them. They bench so much. They have really good scapular retraction. They have really nice arch in the back. They drive the elbows nice and tight to the body, not super bowed out, which is going to be more injury risk for the pec minor. While I don't think it's my favorite movement, the way they do it is actually pretty proficient. I think their rep ranges could be much better, but I'm looking at the workout as a whole, and the biggest thing I'm looking at is intensity and intentionality and the overall effectiveness of the training itself. And they hit all the muscle groups very well. They hit a good amount of chest. They hit incline chest. They hit delts. They hit medial delts. They hit front delt to a certain degree, but major focus on medial delt. They did partial reps at the end of their sets. They did some force reps. They did some drop sets. They did tricep push downs, which was one of my favorite movements. The weighted dips, also dip machine, also one of my favorite movements. So as much as I could say, yes, injury risk from the standing barbell, injury risk from the bench press, those are there, but they are very proficient in those movement patterns. The other thing I'll say is the standing shoulder press, they didn't go crazy. I think they had 135 on there. They could have easily gone 2 plates, 2 1/4. I think that's where the injury risk goes way up. So for me, they had a tremendous time. The pump looked insane. Probably not the same, like would have changed a few things about the rep schemes, but other than that, I probably would have done that workout with them.
Yeah, so for me, a C, because I think that the intensity is at A+ level. They're training really hard, but I think no matter what workout they have in front of them, they're automatically gonna do that. So I could give them the worst workout in the world, the best workout in the world, they're gonna go hard no matter what. Overall, I would find it hard to believe that they could have a workout that they probably would have done worse than this on. Like they're gonna push no matter what. I think the rep ranges are too low. There's too much focus on strength, and regardless if they're bench pressing proper, even with perfect technique, perfect and snap, and you're done. And because they're not natural, and because they're on a diet, I think they need to just leave their egos at the door. Their egos are way too strong. I see the same thing in younger lifters like Sam Sulik and so on. They want to push really heavy weights. They don't want to lighten the load. And so to go from a C to an A, do you know how hard it would have been? Just use lighter weights. So I think that's an important part not to overlook.
Yeah, and the biggest thing they could have used, since they are natural, is some G-test.
Natural, I would say being natural, what they really should be using is GO2 Max, Turk Builder, Neck Builder for maximum muscle growth.
100%.
They could be using creatine, but to me, creatine is kind of like, although it's S tier because it works, it's not gonna work as effectively as this overall.
Yeah, so if you guys want to get more HCLT subs, get more jacked than last time, get harder than last time, go to the website. I have some amazing bundles on there. Obviously, we are going to take HCLT to the moon. We have the brand new pre-workout 3.0. So if you want better pre-workout than everybody else, go and take that. Better flavors, better everything.
I think they'd be shocked to know that there's like 40 plus SKUs of supplements. I don't talk about all the supplements we have out there. There's so many different ones you've never even heard of. Head over to the website. Tank tops, they're harder than last time clothing line. There's so much stuff going on the website. And there's also free diet and training programs. So if you have no money, get over there anyway. Free diet and training program. It's almost 50 pages in length. Join the 300,000 plus newsletter subscribers. Let's make it 400,000. Let's get to 500,000. And until next time, we are out.